Eventually, Hero lost his Phoenixes, which allowed Rain to catch up despite his loss of a Nexus. Hero was still maybe slightly ahead. Did that awesome harassment, but then, bam, remaxing units, and Rain just plowed him over.
And what was so wild about that was that the whole time Hero was basically up a base, like a base-ish.
Yeah.
Half a base like worth of probes.
Yeah, it was
right?
crazy,
Which
man.
is wild. So, and he was up on upgrades. He had +3 attack.
Yeah.
Whereas the whole game, Rain still did not.
I think he had 3-1 against just 2-0. Like it was something else, man.
All about that positioning. So now, upper right-hand corner of the map will be SKT Rain. In the bottom left, it is going to be Liquid.HerO.
And that has to be frustrating for Hero.
Yeah.
He keeps losing against Rain. That game, he knows he had big leads, but Rain did get better compositions, okay? He got more Immortals, he got more Archons to go with his Colossi, and that is unbelievably important.
Well, and when you end up at that 200-200 battle, your 12 probes aren't helping you in this fight.
They actually aren't, that's true. And so he was able to push Hero back out of position, and he just maneuvered and maneuvered and maneuvered until he won that game. And that's what we were talking about beforehand. Hero might be better at the early game, which, by the way, he got ahead of Rain in the early game. But in the late game, the unit compositions and the army movement of Rain is vastly superior. And, I mean, that's exactly what we said before, and that's exactly how that game turned out.
And he killed so many probes.
Oh,
right?
God,
Like, he won the Phoenix fight. We saw what may have been the most confusing skirmish ever because there's just blue lasers and floating things everywhere on top of each other. And then he used them to kill probe after probe. He had like over 40 probe kills at the end of the game.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Those Phoenixes really were worth their weight
in minerals.
Worth their weight in graviton beams.
In gas.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
worth their weight in gas.
That's worth a lot.
That's the real measurement of a unit's worth, right? Like how much gas it costs.
Yeah, I would say so. Except for Terran, then it's minerals because of Marines.
And you get lots of those.
All right, so these guys complete mirrors so far. We'll wait and see their second gas times and everything. This map, amazingly good for Blink Observer.
Now, Rain is the only one that gets out and scouts for a proxy. Hero taking it for granted that, hey, Rain hasn't been proxying, so I don't need to scout early.
Yeah, Hero actually doing that quite often so far from what we've seen. By the way, I think both these players, it looks like they both might be going for just the, 2 gates each. It does look to me like it's going to be Blink Observer. I mean, you can open 2 gates into Blink Observer very well. You can do that 3-stalker opener. Sometimes you do the 5-stalker pressure. It's really up to you which way you like to do it. Yeah. In fact, both them chronoing their cores, I want to say they're both going to do 5-stalker pressure into Blink Observer.
Okay.
It's a really strong variant of Blink Observer. You can put on a lot of pressure, and it's kind of funny when 2 people do that exact build against each other.
Well, it's all going to come down. Well, do you actually stay out and like try to fight, or do you just see that they they have 5-stalker pressure build?
Well,
I just wait.
if you have the upper hand, you absolutely try to do it. Like if you get the first volley, or all your if you all shoot at the same time, but your stalkers all hit the same stalkers and theirs don't, you actually have a small lead, and you can actually push that. But I mean, a lot of it will just depend on when and where they meet each other. But, okay, we have something slightly different. Hero making a sentry and a stalker to follow up his stalker, whereas we do see 3 stalkers from Rain. And, Hero with a robo.
And is Hero going to be able to get up here and scout? Oh, the probe almost makes it up into the main, but does not. I think he just barely saw only one of the gates there. Oh, and now, as you said earlier, Rain, at least, will be the player going for Blink.
Yeah. And, I mean, he's got the 3 stalkers. He didn't chrono the core quite enough to do the 5-stalker pressure I was talking about before. But rushing up to 3 stalkers, you can really control the map early game. He should have a better army out than Hero at this moment. So he has map control right now.
And what advantage could... Whoa. Hero deciding, all right, I'm going to expand. This can be really very... I imagine... But this can be very hard for him to hold.
Yeah.
Right? If Rain just goes full offense, only builds his Blink Stalkers.
Yeah, if he goes literally just makes Stalkers, gets an Observer out, and starts pressuring at the front, it's with 4 gates, of course. It's going to be so hard. And as Hero gains enough Immortals that he feels like he can hold, what you do is you make a Sentry or 2, and maybe even a Warp Prism, and if you can force field them inside or outside their ramp, you win the game. Either way, if you can get a sentry up towards their ramp, you are going to take it 99% of the time.
Really?
We'll see if he goes
just going to at least kill their Nexus, and then they're actually 400
at the minimum
behind.
Exactly. And you're prepared for one base play, whereas their whole thing is for two base play, where they don't have blink, they don't have anything that can crush force fields. You catch gross.
Hero is going to have the Immortal.
Yeah. And we'll see if he can actually hold on because of this. Because we have, I mean, the Observer.
Whoa,
we
are the
have
Observers about
blink.
to get caught? Center. Did they cross, or is that just a probe? Okay, it's one Stalker walking around. It's like, oh man, he's actually going to lose his Observer right now.
And just to check, okay, Rain this game actually only went 3 gates, so he's not actually committing completely to aggression, because with the 4th gate you can get a little bit more.
So Blake is finished. Is he going to be able to turn it into anything? Oh man, the force fields are laying down. He's unable to save it. The Immortal connects and does its work.
This harassment is going to be deadly indeed.
Whoa.
He's got to be so careful here. The second Immortal is going to pop out.
Oh, very nice. Gets off that final volley of shots to kill the Stalker as he blinks back, taking 0 hull damage.
And watch this. He's going to be able to blink up, and this is such bad news. Look at this, picking off this Immortal. Hero is in so much trouble right now. This is exactly the scenario Rain needs to take a huge lead.
And Rain gets in here, taking down one of those Stalkers up at the top of the base, and now he's also going to be able to easily just pick off that gas and not lose anything because he's got blink. This is so annoying for Hero to try to deal with here. He lost that Immortal. Having a second Immortal to deal with this would be so important. He's only just now started rebuilding another Immortal.
And look at this. Rain is playing with him right now. In fact, Hero pulls his probes. That was a really smart move because he realizes that Rain is completely outmaneuvering him. His choice of strategy here counters the strategy that Hero does as long as you have good execution.
And Rain decides that he's going to take that Nexus behind us.
It's a great choice.
Safe lead,
It's a great choice. I mean, he's killed his Nexus. There's no blink for his opponent. Look, he only had...
Wow. And he's just supply block.
Yeah, I mean, everything is in Rain's favor, and he can actually just sit on this amount of Stalkers, continue light harassment. I don't think he's going to get too much more done with it other than the containment.
Well, when that second Immortal joined the fight, it gets a little more risky for him to try to get super offensive.
But if he comes all the way down the ramp or overcommits down the ramp, force field goes down, kills whatever's down there. So, I mean, this is...
Does he have any sentries in his... I don't think Rain has any...
He has 1 sentry.
Well, okay. I was like, where? I don't see it in the clump on the right.
No.
Does not land the force field. Oh, unfortunate. Now that lone sentry is going to get picked off as it hangs down in the back. Oh, one Stalker even going down. He does go around with the Observer and uses that to blink up into the main. And oh man, all of Hero's Stalkers do fall. All that's left now is Immortals and Zealots, mostly, with a couple of sentries in there, against these Blink Stalkers. It's all going to come down to the micro. Oh, but instead, he's just going back to the edge. He's not going to try individually. Whoa! Blinks forward on to the Immortal. The Guardian Shield is down, saving that Immortal just barely.
And another blink forward. He's being so aggressive with this, just dismantling his opponent's army.
Just barely does not finish that last Immortal over there. Unfortunate for Rain.
Well, Rain did a lot of damage there, right? Back at home, he's already got a decent army. He's got 2 Immortals against his opponent's 1, 6 Stalkers against his opponent's 3, and 2 Sentries against his opponent's 1. So his army is still better.
It just happens to all be at his base. If it was all over here right now, he could totally threaten Hero to take this game immediately. Now Hero having to retake his Nexus. It's always so frustrating when you just finish your expansion and then it just dies.
Yeah, and I mean, look at this. 40 probes against 31. Rain is ahead in almost every single way. But what we can say is that the robotics phase is quicker for Hero. So once he feels secure on his number of Immortals, he can switch into Colossus and get a slight Colossus lead at least.
Well, Rain, Rain is going to use that advantage that he's had. He's going to use the fact that, hey, I I have a pretty good guess that my army is extremely strong, and I'm just going to keep pressuring you, because if I keep pressuring you and killing anything, you cannot catch back up. He takes down a Stalker, lands a couple force fields, also takes down another Zealot, and now his superior Immortal count. Oh man, and Hero is just out of position. We now see the blink forward from Rain as well. Will he kill the Immortal on left? It may not matter. Oh, it's so low on HP already. The other Immortals connect and take down Hero's half of his army.
Look at these supplies. Rain up at 87 against 55 of his opponent. Gonna take down the Nexus again. Oh, Hero is in so much trouble. In fact, gonna kill off his army as well. It looks like this might be the ending of this game, Rob. The ending of the winner bracket finals, with Rain once again taking out Hero without a single loss.
Oh, well, there it goes. SKT Rain will advance into the grand finals. He is guaranteed top 2, guaranteed a minimum of $9,000 here at this event. That does now mean that Hero will go down to the lower bracket and